So there's a small YouTube channel named Jack Doherty, and he is a loser, frankly speaking. He is an absolute clown that no one should be engaging with. I don't think people should actually even be commenting on him at all, not even clicking on his videos, just click not interested and move on. And if you harass him or leave any nasty comments making fun of him or whatever, you are contributing to the problem. Do not go harassing him. Do not leave any weird comments or any comments at all. Because, first of all, that's illegal. Second of all, you're literally giving him more engagement and you're allowing this piss stain on society to continue making a living through being an insufferable YouTuber. And, or not even YouTuber, he's a flex tuber. He just flexes how much money he has. And third of all, it's not really a productive usage of your time. You could be watching like what Zach D Films, not sponsored by the way. I just think Zach D Films is kind of funny. And yeah, you're just leaving comments on this man-child's YouTube channel in order to give him more engagement, and it helps him make a living. So don't do any of that stuff at all. Just don't feed into it. Just move on. If you don't look at him, he doesn't exist. That's literally it. It's like peekaboo. Just if you can't see it, it doesn't exist. But anyways, Jack Doherty is known for being an online nuisance and is also known for doing a few things, such as allegedly grooming a woman until they turn 18 to get her drunk and sign an OnlyFans contract, filming a woman without consent, crashing his Lamborghini, and a few other stuff that I probably won't really get into that much because there's so much that's already been said about that. The reason why I'm talking about this sack of sheets of paper over here is because I think that, in my humble opinion, there is a huge problem that's been caused by Jack Doherty, and we need to have a serious conversation on him, or at least in terms of him being on YouTube. So, with that being said, let's begin. And also, before we continue, yes, I did get a Blue Yeti mic. It's so crispy. But anyways, yeah, I hope you enjoy this video, get a few takeaways from it, and just don't give this guy any engagement at all. Okay, so while recording this part of the script, I actually sounded like I was speaking gobbledygook. I was speaking the language of aliens. But anyways, I'm just gonna freestyle this part. So the first thing I want to talk about for this video is that Jack Doherty and McKinley Richardson, in my humble opinion, this is just my opinion, there's really no real evidence to support it unless this goes to like court or something like that. But I think that they are in an abusive relationship. I think that they are constantly abusing each other in this perpetual Ouroboros of misery, where Jack Doherty and McKinley Richardson, they are just smooching off of each other for clout. They are using each other's audiences in order to get more views, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's like a transactional marriage, which kind of sounds like marriage fraud, but it's not. It's just more of like, oh, they marry each other and they get X, Y, and Z and stuff like that. It happens a lot, and of course it's not good, but that's their marriage. That's from what I've seen at least. And the reason why I'm saying that it is an abusive relationship is because around January 17, 2025 or so, he uploaded a video called "I Made McKinley Cry Again." First of all, again, so you basically admitted that you make her cry on multiple occasions. And number two, you are filming her and you are using this for content and you are posting it to your audience. And number three, the thumbnail on here, the entire premise of the video, and overall just like the vibe of the video, it feels like you are trying to run a family channel. Now, if you are familiar with the YouTube space, you would be familiar with family content and how family content people tend to go like, oh, our son got shot by James Sears. Our wife got knocked up by P. Diddy. Something like that. And yeah, he's making those types of thumbnails right now. And that type of stuff. And my conspiracy theory, my prediction for 2026 is that 2025, Jack Doherty is not going to be relevant anymore, probably. He's going to be like chilling. Maybe he'll get into like a controversy here and there, but I think that him and McKinley in 2026 will probably have a kid and fire up a family channel. That's my prediction for 2026. I don't know if you guys are on board with that. You guys decide. But anyways, going back to the whole abusive thing, it feels like he's just trying to market this towards kids because he made a thumbnail that is similar to family channels, and kids primarily watch family channels. That is the agreed upon census. But anyways, going to the back to that whole abusive thing, it's clear that Jack Doherty has, and he even admitted to it as well in multiple occasions, I'll show them on screen, that he has had a pattern of making her cry a lot. And this is kind of, in my opinion at least, this looks like he's emotionally hurting her in a sense, and it's repeated patterns of it too. So to say that this is not abusive to an extent is just really naive in my opinion, because clearly there's something going on, and I'll get more into that in a bit, like how he abuses girls in general allegedly and has a pattern of showing mistreatment towards people, if that makes sense. And we can even see it too in multiple of his videos. For example, there is a certain video that has something to do with what I just said. Essentially, what happens is that McKinley gets robbed in Compton, of course, because it's freaking Compton. There's not a lot of economic opportunity over there. People are forced to resort to crime in order to feed their families. And McKinley gets robbed. I don't even know why she's in Compton in the first place. I can't imagine why. And Jack is out here dapping up his friends after getting an alert, notification, whatever, saying that his girlfriend just got robbed, presumably at gunpoint, like judging from what the conversation that's being exchanged. And jack off doohickey, like a pigeon flying, like in all his glory, does what he does best. He tries to make content out of it by having his heinous bunch of yes-men lackeys record and hype him up, while after he gets into the van that McKinley was in, as he's shirtless walking around the streets, just constantly asking, hey, what happened? And he keeps interrupting her to ask what happened. Yeah, that's what happens. He asks a question, and while getting the answer to that question, he interrupts. I mean, like, this is why all therapists suck. Jack Doherty definitely knows something that all of us normal people stuck in the Matrix don't know. And then he starts looking around to see what he lost. Instead of comforting his significant other, he tries assessing the damage inside the van, like what has been lost, what has been taken, so that way he can replace it, all that other stuff. And this is just one of the numerous examples of a blatant disregard for the people he manages. I know everyone makes fun of the girls that Jack is essentially pimping out, but I feel bad for them, especially Camila Arujo. I don't think that she is a douchebag on purpose. I feel like her entire douchebag personality was a result of Jack finding Camila from Mr. Beast, and then he decided to take her under his wing, aka make some money off of her. And he made her do all this stuff she's been doing, like advertising her OnlyFans through her brother and stuff like that. And that's the overarching conspiracy I have. So let's start off with the timeline. The timeline matches up. The Beast Games was posted on November 24th of 2021. After going through her Instagram posts, the earliest I believe she was in contact with Jack Doherty was in approximately December 29, 2023, possibly earlier to account for, posting dates and stuff like that. Then after that, approximately 9-ish months later, she gets a massive rally against her for using her underage brother, he was approximately 15 to 16 at the time, to promote her OnlyFans, which is illegal, by the way, to involve a minor in the production of porn, even if they aren't acting in it, according to multiple sources. How do I know she's in Florida? She's part of a certain content group that resides in Florida, and that freaking petri dish of STDs and ego is what I'm going to talk about next. So initially, I really wanted to censor the content group that she's a part of, because I don't believe that many people actually know about it. But then I looked on like TikTok and all that other stuff, and then I was like, oh, people actually do know about this. They're not a famous, they're a small content group called the Bop House. And the Bop House primarily consists of Julia Filippo, Camila Arujo, of course, Jack Doherty's girl, Sophie Rain, and Aisha, Sophie, Summer X Iris, and a few other people. I know there's a few other people in there. But anyways, yeah, so she's a part of that content group. And the whole reason why I bring up this content creation group of her and these bods is because I believe that, and I'm not saying that they are, but according to my research, it really does look like they're running a brothel. I'm no legal lawyer, so take what I have to say with a grain of salt, because I do not have the proper credentials to even enforce the law at all. If you really want to talk to someone about it, first of all, I wouldn't suggest it because it's a waste of time. It's just internet stuff. I highly suggest talking to a more qualified professional if you really want to talk about that stuff. But anyways, according to the Florida Senate, they state that it is unlawful to own, establish, maintain, or operate any place, structure, building, or conveyance for the purpose of lewdness, assignation, or prostitution, Section 07, Chapter 796. Furthermore, according to the Online Sunshine, they state the same thing pretty much, except it's much more recent, so the definitions really haven't changed. We all know that a brothel is a place to get prostitutes, and according to both sources verbatim, they state that prostitution means the giving or receiving of the body for sexual activity for hire, but excludes sexual activity from spouses, which, marriage is a joke to them at this point, basically. And other sources agree to this statement, and therefore they are, because they are making lewd content in there. According to these sources, and not me, by the way, it's these sources basically saying it, they are running a brothel. The Bop House is a brothel, basically. Now, there's a lot that can be said about my argument, so let's first start off with the, oh, Willie Tato, you're fine with OnlyFans work, what's the difference here? Well, first of all, they're breaking the freaking law according to the sources I provided. And second of all, the line I draw is when at the very most it is only one person and their spouse recording themselves doing sexual acts. That is where I draw the line. It is being kept between two consenting adults and they aren't really breaking the law. That's it for why this content creation group is different from other OnlyFans models. Another argument I know damn well people are gonna start yapping about is, Willie Tato, aren't you slut shaming? And the answer to that is a colossal 1 yottabyte your mom sized yes. I normally don't slut shame people. I do judge and I try not to, slut shame people as much as I can. I do internally go like, damn, that's crazy. But I don't go out of my way to try and convert them or whatever, because their body, their choice. If they have fun sleeping with a bajillion men, women, or everything in between, that's alright. That's fine. That is their choice. I have no right to dictate what they do with their body. That's fine. But Camila's literally involved in a brothel, according to the sources I brought up. Of course, she hasn't been criminally convicted, so we can't really say that for sure. And frankly speaking, hell to the yeah, I'm going to be bringing this to discussion. If you have a problem with that, then leave. Some other argument that came to my mind is that it's a capitalist society we're living in. We're living in the USA, the nation of freedom and guns and cheeseburgers and hot dogs and stuff like that. Why are you salty that she's making more than you? And that is a good point. If you actually just ate dirt and huffed glue as a kid, the whole point of capitalism is to give everyone an even playing field, and that includes selling out your body. But there should never and there can never be true capitalism. You just can't, because the only type of nation that can sustain true capitalism is an anarchy nation. And we all imagine how that'd go, because then if we had an anarchy, like a nation run by anarchists, then there would be no regulations, no rules whatsoever, and then that would be true capitalism. But all things go out the window once you bring kids into this, and also it's just going to be so chaotic if we just let things like this run rampant. And sure, he may have been having the time of his life out there. He may have been having some fun with his new cars and stuff like that. But this is going to be some mentally debilitating stuff that he's going to have to carry around once he gets older. Once he gets older, he's going to be like, damn, I was really promoting some messed up stuff as a kid, and that was so messed up. And that's something he's gonna have to carry around. He will have to live with that fact that he gave gooners more material to ruin their lives with, which in turn ruins his life as well. And overall, allowing this business to sustain itself is just absolutely horrible. It is disgusting, and it's something that should be talked about in a separate video that I'll probably make another video on Camila some other time. And this all ties back to Jack Doherty. There is an argument to be made here that Jack Doherty is not exactly the cause, but he is definitely a contributing factor to this alleged brothel. And by managing her OnlyFans account, which really just sounds like he's an online pimp, he contributed to Camila's success, which gave her the ability to join this quote-unquote content creation group, or as the other sources would label it, a brothel. And I think that Jack also had something to do with the brother being involved. Now, this is going to be some crazy conspiracy tinfoil hat conspiracy theory type of thing, and I'm going to have snot coming out of my nose as I push my glasses up, my bucktooth teeth sticking out, and my little ramen noodle looking ass cut. But here it goes. I think that Jack Doherty was the cause of Camila using her brother for fame. This is a conspiracy theory, and this might not be true, so don't take this as fact. But just hear me out. Jack has had a history of joking about edgy things, such as incest, and was also kind of homophobic in this clip right here. Shout out to Reddit user Jake Specter556 for finding this video and posting it on a Reddit.
And you, the stuff.
Everybody, I've been holding this in my whole life. I just want to let you know, I'm gay. Woo! Let's go! Yeah! I'm homosexual! Yeah! Let's go! Is anybody else gay? I like men. Anybody else like men? Raise your hand. Join us. Join us. Join us and like men. Join us. Do you like men? Give me a hug. I like men. I like men so much in the ass. Yes. Yes, being gay is cool. I love being gay. They're not Thank you guys. Thank you. Gay people don't have to wear a mask. We're above everybody. Thank you. Have a blessed day. I'm gay! Let's go! Let's go!
But at the same time, Jack also gave a little smooch to the Island Boys in a threesome kiss. And before we proceed, viewer disclaimer is advised. This video is not intended for young audiences because it has themes that may not be suitable for those ages. And hey, Jack Doherty, if you're watching this video, look in the background. See who those people are? Yeah, that's right. That's the Island Boys, and they love to stick their little wee-wee into each other's bunghole. But I don't care much about the Island Boys. What makes this funny is that Jack and the Island Boys get together for a big wet smooch with each other. So we have this homophobic homosexual guy who seemed to think it was a good idea to make content and post it on a social media with a bunch of guys who like to, have incest with each other. Now, the Island Boys is so poetic because they're well known for their incest gig they had going on, and the reason why I say well known is because they're not very well known anymore. They used to be well known. So it's clear that Jack thinks incest is funny to some extent, and he's at the very least desensitized to it to a level. But guess what else is close to the topic of incest and having your family see you in a sexual way? That's right, Camila Arujo and her underage brother promoting her OnlyFans. What I believed happened here is that Jack thought it would be a funny thing if Camila had her brother promote her OnlyFans channel using her brother, and make this whole sort of advertising campaign sadder than Swan Lake, best song ever, don't even try me. And furthermore, Jack Doherty, who has been established earlier to be an insufferable douchebag manager with no regard for the people he manages, clearly doesn't care about things like incest and stuff like that. He kissed two guys at the same time who like to kiss each other. So clearly there is, with all due respect, something mentally wrong with Jack Doherty. I'm no medical professional, so take this with a grain of salt, but it genuinely does seem like he has some sort of psychopath disorder. He is literally the Merriam-Webster dictionary definition of a psychopath. One more thing that I unfortunately will be defending Jack Doherty on is the allegations that state that he allegedly takes 100% of the revenue that his OnlyFans girls make. Now, whether or not I know this is true, I don't even know whether or not this is true. I haven't seen any real evidence other than content creator Natalie Reynolds stating that, Jack Doherty takes away 100% of the girls' revenues and he allegedly drugs girls and makes them sign OnlyFans contracts. Now, whether or not this is true, I haven't seen any real evidence. The only real evidence that I can really piece together. Alright, so initially I was going to disregard everything Natalie Reynolds said because she doesn't provide any real evidence. She doesn't provide anything to back up her claims. However, I, on the other hand, have discovered some very, very interesting things. So, first of all, I looked through Jack Doherty's Instagram, and I found something that was very, very interesting to say the least. So, number one, he made a post on December 29, 2023 in his van or something. I don't know what it is. It's like a luxury RV van type of thing. And he's posing with 6 people. Now, I couldn't find one of the people in the back. If you can find that person, let me know. I will find their age, and I will also confirm in the comment section. So, come back in a little bit if I find the Instagram. and I'll be able to confirm their age. And from what I have seen, one of the people specifically named Kaylee Deal X, at the time he posted this image, Kaylee Deal was at the very, very most 17 years old and like 10, 11 months. So she's technically under the age of 18 now. If you see where this is going, yeah, it's not a good look for Jack Doherty because first of all, he has an OnlyFans model named Grace Rain who is kind of just throwing it back, basically doing this thing in like a really seductive manner. He's also posted with Claire Lizzie, Michelle Scott, and McKinley Richardson, his girls, of course, and then like one other person whose name I don't know. If you can find their Instagram, leave it in the comment section. I will look through some research and I'll also follow up on it. And as for Kaylee Deal, according to a certain source called talentbiography.com, her age is 18 years old as of January 25th, 2025, and her date of birth is 2006, which it's kind of scary thinking that she's only older than me by like a year, and I don't even know if this is even if the timeline even matches, because she would have been 17 at the time as of posting this video, according to this age calculator I have called calculator.net. And yeah, it's not a good look for Jack Doherty. Overall, really sketchy things, and I think someone needs to look into the claims that Natalie Reynolds has made. So before I end off the video, I just want to talk about one more thing. And so yeah, that's all I really have to say on the Jack Doherty video. Shout out to these people for encouraging me to do a Jack Doherty video because, you know, you presented me the idea of making a Jack Doherty video. And of course, I will heed your call. But anyways, yeah, that's all I really have to say on Jack Doherty. Overall, he is just an absolute maniac. He allegedly abuses his wife and the people that he works with, of course, but that the abusing people that he works with is not substantially backed. But one thing that is well documented is him repeatedly emotionally abusing, allegedly, his girlfriend, McKinley Richardson. And on top of that, he most likely has played a hand in Camila Arujo's promotion of her OnlyFans using her younger brother because of the things that I stated earlier. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. I don't really know who I want to make a video on next. I encourage you all to do your own research. Do not give this guy any engagement. It's not a good idea because you're just feeding into this worm. But anyways, yeah, that's really about it. I don't really know who I'm going to make a video on. I'll just look into the comments and I'll see who wants me to make a video on what. And yeah, give me some feedback. Tell me how the new mic is because we just got a new mic and we up, gang. Anyways, yeah, that's all I really have to say. I hope you all have a good day. Stay smart out there, guys, and bye.